In the year 1503, if someone dropped a stone from a tower, nobody argued what was going to happen. It fell. It always fell. You didn't need proof. You saw it every day. Rocks, they fall. Tools, they'll slip. Buckets, drop. Heavy things fall down. That's just how the world worked. That mattered because people back then didn't have labs or formulas. What they had was experience. They built churches, bridges, walls, fortifications, all by hand. If you misjudged weight, something cracked or collapsed. Sometimes someone underneath, they lost their life. Gravity, it wasn't an idea. It was something you had to take into account. Now, most people in Europe still leaned on Aristotle, born in 384 BC. He taught that heavy objects, they fall faster because they were heavy, not because something was pulling them, but because they belonged closer to the earth. Earth went down, fire went up, air sat in between. If you never tested it, that explanation, well, it worked good enough. And for nearly 2,000 years, no one really tested it. Back then, gravity wasn't something you could point to. It was simply how things behaved when you let go. Even the word energy meant something different. It came from the Greek word energia. It meant work, effort. If a man lifted a stone weighing 50 pounds, 22.7 kilograms, the effort was in his arms and back. And once the stone stopped moving, people assumed the work was done. But it wasn't. Put that same 50-pound stone on top of a wall 20 feet high, 6.1 meters. It just sat there. No sound, no motion. Looks harmless. But the effort it took to lift it, well, that didn't go away. The stone carried that effort because of where it was. The height of it mattered. The position mattered. If it slipped, that effort would show up once again, all at once. People didn't have a term for that, but they understood it. They knew height made weight dangerous. Leonardo da Vinci. He was alive in 1503. He paid attention to falling water, rolling weights, and collapsing loads. He sketched motion step by step. He wrote that movement came from imbalance. He could see that weight alone wasn't the whole story. The height mattered too. Even without math, he understood that lifting something heavy changed what could happen next. About 100 years later, Galileo Galilei, he tested the old assumptions. He showed that heavy and light objects fall at the same rate when air isn't slowing them down. A cannonball and a stone, they don't race. They land together. Weight, it doesn't control the fall. Gravity treats mass the same way. That meant that gravity wasn't about heaviness. It was about how motion changes. Everything speeds up towards the ground at the same rate, about 32 feet per second, squared. That's 9.8 meters per second, squared, no matter what weight it is. Then, in 1687, Isaac Newton put the numbers to what people already knew from experience. He showed that everything with mass pulls on everything else. Earth pulls on a stone. The stone pulls back on Earth. The interaction goes both ways. The difference is the scale. The Earth barely moves because it's enormous. From that point on, gravity could be measured instead of guessed at. And that's where this stops being only an earthbound story. The same rules apply far beyond the ground under our feet. A moon, it stays in orbit because it's always falling and never quite reaching what it's falling towards. Its height and its sideways motion, they work together. Remove either one, and the orbit ends. One thing worth thinking about here is this. We usually talk about gravity as a cause, but most of what we see comes down to position. If you change where something is, and everything that follows changes with it. The motion, it isn't added later. It comes with the position itself. Stars, they form the same way. Gravity pulls large clouds of gas inward over millions of years. As that happens, motion, it turns into heat. Heat raises pressure. And when the conditions are right, nuclear fusion begins. A star doesn't suddenly appear. It forms over time. Gravity doesn't trap energy. It sets the conditions for how energy changes. Here's the part that a lot of people often miss. Gravity doesn't create energy. It doesn't destroy it. If you lift something and the effort stays tied to where that object is, change its position and that effort turns into motion. Motion turns into heat, sound, fracture, light, or work. Nothing shows up from nowhere. Nothing disappears. That is heavy energy. A boulder weighing 1 ton or 2,000 pounds, about 907 kilograms, sitting on a cliff 100 feet high, 30.5 meters. It looks pretty chill. It's not moving. But where it's positioned matters. And if it moves, everything involved happens at once. That pattern is pretty straightforward. Raise something higher, and the effect increases. Make it heavier, and it increases again. There's no shortcut built into it. At extreme scales, the same rules apply. When mass and position line up in certain ways, outward paths stop making sense. That leads to another useful thought. We tend to assume that there's always an out, some direction away from trouble. Nature doesn't promise that, okay? In some situations, the paths we expect just aren't part of the setup anymore. Light doesn't fail because it's weak. It fails because there's no longer a clear way out. We use this every day. Water behind a dam isn't powerful because it's water. It's powerful because of where it sits. When released, gravity turns height into motion, motion into rotation, and rotation into electricity. And the power comes from the drop. Back in 1503, nobody talked about joules or equations, but builders understood effort. They respected weight, and they knew height turned things into dangerous objects. They learned often the hard way that something standing still can still cause damage if it's in the wrong place. Gravity has always been there. It works the same every time. Once that clicks, the lesson isn't really about falling objects anymore. It's about stored consequences. The same rule that drops a stone also shapes a star. Things that are chill can still carry force. Stable doesn't mean safe. And when something finally moves, everything tied to it, it all shows up at once. These are Interesting Things with JC.